Hey, what's up guys, this is Saman here from Explore Gadgets. And this is my review of the Asus ZenBook Pro Duo laptop. Let's start off with the build quality. The ZenBook Pro Duo is sturdily built and looks nice. Metal is used for the entire outer case, with little to no flex in either the lid or the keyboard frame, while the interior is mostly occupied by the screens and the keyboard. The Pro Duo uses the same ErgoLift hinge design we've seen on most recent ZenBooks, with the main chassis lifting on rubber feet placed at the bottom of the screen in order to ensure improved airflow underneath and a slightly inclined typing position. Of course, the keyboard and trackpad has been pushed all the way to the front by the addition of that secondary display at the top, a design we have seen on some ROG Zephyrus gaming notebooks in the past. This sort of design is fine as long as you keep the laptop on a desk. Typing feels like typing on a compact regular desktop keyboard, and the touchpad at the right feels natural, since that's where you normally use your mouse. Asus even included an armrest accessory to compensate for the fairly tall front, which further proves the point for the need for a bigger desk. However, this doesn't physically or magnetically attach to the actual laptop, so you'll have to constantly adjust it if you move the laptop. However, there's a cool charge indicator light that passes through the armrest. Speaking of cool, the cooling has been completely redesigned, and the exhaust no longer blows into the screen. Those grills behind the hinges are intakes, supplemented by extra intakes on the belly, with the exhausts placed on the sides. As for the I/O, there's a fair selection of ports on this ZenBook, with 2 USB-A slots, USB-C with Thunderbolt 3 support, HDMI and audio exit. There's also a LAN port too. Although an SD card reader would have been much appreciated on a creator laptop, and it's the only thing missing. The keyboard itself has a standard layout and an extra set of function keys at the right. Those are above the clickpad, 2 of them meant to control the screen pad, and 1 of them meant to switch between power fan modes and the power button. The keys feel nice to touch and are springy, very quick and quiet. However, they press a little too easily and actuate quickly, and as far as typing experience goes, it will feel a lot like typing on a desktop keyboard with or without the palm rest accessory attached. The keyboard is also backlit with white LEDs and 3 intensity levels to choose from. As for the touchpad, it's pushed to the right side of the keyboard, and that's something I got easily used to. It feels very natural over there, although you'll have to move your right hand out of the keyboard to get to it, much like with a regular computer mouse. Now coming to the display, Asus has put a full-size 15.6-inch 4K main display here, supplemented by a 14-inch 4K side screen called a ScreenPad Plus. Both support touch, but the main screen is OLED and glossy, while the ScreenPad is IPS and gets an anti-glare coating in order to prevent the reflection from the main display. There are, however, noticeable differences between the two screens in terms of brightness, image quality, and the way they look. The OLED is brighter, richer, and more saturated, and it also gets spectacular viewing angles. The IPS ScreenPad is not bad either if you look at it from the top. However, with normal use, you'll constantly look at it from the down angle, and that takes a toll on the image quality. Windows sees it as a secondary screen, and you can push 3 different windows and apps. For instance, you can have a YouTube clip down there while running the browser on the main screen, or maybe put Discord there while playing a game, or maybe send the Photoshop Premiere side tools while editing on the main screen. The variant I have comes with a Core i9 9880HK processor, 32GB of RAM, and 1TB of storage. The RAM is soldered on this notebook, so you'll have to stick with what you buy from the start. As for that i9 processor, it performs adequately, but the temperatures are through the roof. I've never seen a processor run at constant 95 to 99 degrees. So needless to say, the laptop runs very hot, especially if you're doing CPU heavy tasks. The GPU on the other hand performs amazingly. It runs on constant 65 to 75 degrees and games run smoothly, although only on 1080p. I've tested some games, and although I did experience some frame rate drops at times, the overall experience was smooth. Games like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which is more demanding, ran at an average of 60 FPS, Destiny 2 ran at a comfortable 100, and Apex Legends at 90. So as far as gaming goes, it's a good machine, but be prepared for a little frame rate drops. Now coming to the sound, it's pretty mediocre. It has minimal clarity and sounds a little muddy. It also doesn't get too loud, which can be a problem when you're outside with a lot of environmental noise. The overall sound quality is pretty bad, but I did compare it to a MacBook, which has amazing speakers. But as far as Windows laptops go, it's better than some, but at this price point, I'm sure Asus could have done better.
We'll go through
Now to the battery, there's a 71 Wh battery inside this ZenBook Pro Duo, which is averagely sized for a top-tier performance laptop. Browsing the web and playing YouTube videos got me about 5 hours of use. Playing Apex Legends gave me about an hour, and just downloading games and turning the screen off gave me about 6.5 to 7 hours of use. So I would say the battery life is pretty decent. All in all, the top-tier build quality and materials, the hardware specs, and especially for the form factor and those dual screens, this laptop is a great buy for those who do a lot of professional work and game.